right, guys, welcome to another chapter or episode. Alan, I haven't actually decided whether to call it a chapter or a bloody episode. Well, welcome again, man. Welcome to a second chapter of Win Together. The sole purpose of this, me starting this, is just basically making sure that we can bring as much as value to as many as people as we can. So thank you. We've got Alan today, guys. Hey, Alan. Mate, tell me a bit about yourself.
Hey, Jasmeet.
I know a bit about myself. But look, tell us all and a bit about yourself, and yeah.
I guess I was born in New Zealand, born and raised in South Auckland. That's why I got a little bit of that South Auckland twang. Grew up in Manukau, went to school at Penrose High School, got into IT then, and that's where I am now. You know, growing up with technology, being passionate about it, and just what I love doing now, you know. So that's what I do. I provide IT services to businesses, and just what I've been doing since I've left high school.
Yeah, so you've already mentioned, I was going to keep that for later on, but hey, guys, Alan is an IT specialist. He looks after the data backups and anything to do with the disaster management in terms of your data. So that's what he does. Alan, obviously tell us a bit about your family as well, man. I know you've got kids.
Yep, I've got two daughters. One's turning 4 and one's just turned 1. So
good, man.
A bit of a handful at the moment, yeah.
Well, yeah, of course, it'll be hard for you to work from home right now, I guess.
Oh, I'm trying.
Trying is what we can do. What do you like to do in your spare time, bud?
In my spare time nowadays, it's just really just reading books, you know, just trying to upskill myself. That's
wonderful,
one of the things,
man.
and it's just making time to just spend with my family, you know.
Of course, I think this is what I've been talking, man. People are complaining about, being bored. This is actually an amazing time to upskill yourself and spending time with your family. I was absolutely stoked about the time that we had on hand, and it was really, really good. I met a very good user all the time. Mate, tell me something unique about yourself. I know you a wee bit, which is good, but I want everyone to know you as well. So unique about yourself.
Something unique. It's quite hard to think about something unique when you don't think about yourself all the time, you know. You've got other things to think about.
No,
but I guess
absolutely agreed. Yeah.
I guess something unique would be speak a bit of Vietnamese, can understand that.
Oh wow.
Was a bit of an academic during high school. That's gone downhill now, but that's all right.
Wow, look, that's something that I didn't actually know about that at all. So, look, Alan, obviously I know what you do, and obviously, especially these times are going to be very crucial. A lot of people are working from homes, and they may not have the setup that they need in terms of the data backup, or if something were to go wrong. So, mate, tell us in a few steps that what are the ways that we can make it better for people, especially working from homes and who actually don't think about whether they're going to lose their data or anything that may happen with their data, and something can go wrong as well in terms of disaster. So what are some of the steps that you can share with us? That'll be great.
Okay, so there's pretty much 5 steps that you can take to make sure that you've got a reliable backup of your data, just in case, you never know when something's going to happen. Like, worst case, your computer dies and you don't have a copy of like your important documents, financials, all that kind of stuff that you need a backup of. So first thing you need to do is make sure you have a backup. Backup is just a copy of the data, so make sure it's copied to an external hard drive or USB thumb drive, something that is separate from your actual computer itself, so that you can use it on another device if you need to. Second step is to make sure you have multiple copies. So make sure you have at least.
Can I just go on to your first step? Sorry. And what if they can't do it on external hard drive? Do you recommend they've got some sort of Gmail or OneDrive or Dropbox, something of that sort?
Yep. So that was going to be the next step. Second step is to make sure you have multiple copies.
Sorry.
Yep. I got it covered.
Oh, good.
So if you don't have,
well, I was like,
so if you don't have a USB. No USB or external hard drive, make sure you have another copy in the cloud. You can use Google Drive, you can use OneDrive, Box, Dropbox, any sort of cloud storage service that lets you sync your data from your local device up to the cloud. This way you can access it on your phone if you need to. In the worst case scenario where you've lost your device, you can pull it up on another computer, and you can also back up that data as well. So you can create a copy of your cloud data somewhere else. Multiple copies. How many copies should you have? 3. 3 copies.
3. Wow.
3 copies of your data.
I gotta talk to you, my friend.
It's best practice to make sure you have 3 copies.
3, yeah.
So a copy can be one that exists on your computer itself, one on an external device like a external hard drive or USB, and one offsite. So that could even be on something on DVD, something offsite, or you can be a bit new age and just move it to the cloud. And then that way you've kind of got a pseudo 2. The rule is 3-2-1. So we can hit that up later. Step 3 is, if possible, make a copy on the cloud. So that just make sure you have a copy on the cloud.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. I see.
In the cloud. So having a service like OneDrive or Google Drive isn't actually a backup. It's a pseudo sync tool to just make sure that you have your documents available on the cloud so that you can move around, be a bit more mobile. During these times, you can access your data anywhere, on your phone, on a laptop, on a computer. That's what it enables you, but it's not actually a backup. You got to remember that. Because if you delete your data, you only have about 30 days to get it back. So if you accidentally lose it, you'll never be able to get it back.
Do you have any recommendations, either any cloud system that you recommend in particular, and especially when it comes to price-wise as well? Because as small to medium-sized businesses, they want to make sure that's a cost-effective way as well.
A cost-effective way will be downloading something like there's plenty of Office 365 backup tools and Google Drive backup tools. There are cloud-to-cloud backup storage solutions and products that you can use to back up that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I think it comes from around like $50 a year per user, so it is quite
$50 a year.
But
that's not too for one bloody year. That's good, man.
It's not expensive at all, but it is a way just to make sure that you've got a backup of your data, because backups do follow retention plans. They have to keep your data for X amount of time, so you can set those kind of retention policies where like your data has to exist for at least a year before it can be culled off. And then all the other tips I've got listed here is just covering all the bases of the 3-2-1. You've got 3 copies of your data. You've got two backups on 2 different types of medium, like an external hard drive, DVD, tape if you use that kind of stuff, or in the cloud, and just one offsite in the cloud, or just stored at your mum's house if possible.
Mum's, I wouldn't do that.
That's the best way.
Probably not.
Everything's safe. And the 5th step is, if possible, you should try and keep your backups encrypted, because you never know if you lose your hard drive, right, and someone accesses it, they can see all your backed up data. So if you're holding sensitive information or like personal identifying information,
absolutely. We've got a lot of that.
Make sure that kind of stuff is encrypted, so that if you did lose it, no one can actually access that kind of data.
Right. And can we do that on the clouds as well? The encryption?
No, the cloud is a bit different. No.
Okay. How can we do that? So what about all the data which is saved on the clouds then?
So all the data that's saved on the cloud, if someone manages to get your password and get into your account, they'll be able to access that kind of data, right? So enabling a multi-factor authentication where it verifies who you are before it actually lets you through. That's what you need to do to protect yourself. It's a better protection measure than just having a password. And encrypting your backups, that's where the backup product comes in place, where it backs up your actual cloud storage data and it encrypts it in transit and at rest. So if you are looking at a backup solution to back up your cloud storage or even your local data, make sure it encrypts your data.
Right. Cool, man. Cool. Thank you for that. Anything else that you want to add to it at all? Or I think the best way to, there's another way we can do this. Can you share any recent examples that you've dealt with, obviously in these times as well? I'm pretty sure you would have had a few cases for sure.
luckily, my clients are safe. But I've heard some. Yep. Luckily, I've heard some stories where clients have actually been breached just because they haven't had any backups to go back to. They've lost all their main data and they just had nothing in place to go back to. Or they did have backups, but it was local enough that it just got breached as well. So just having something offsite, separate from your actual location as well is good. And also just taking extra security measures like enabling multi-factor authentication, having firewalls in place for your system, protecting your network, all the security stuff, good passwords, all that kind of stuff.
I do have a question which just popped up in my mind. So it was about what's the best way to save some of the docs, some of the very important docs. For example, it could be a will. It could be like, all the paperwork that we used to have, like a date of birth, certificate, like all the old certificates. What's the best way to save those as well onto the cloud?
Onto the cloud. So a simple tool is you can use Google Drive, right? And you can set something up where it syncs all your local documents up straight away. So anything you save to your desktop, your pictures, or into your documents folder, all of that stuff will go straight into the cloud. You can do that for OneDrive as well. It's called known folders. Just enable that and it'll start backing it up for you automatically.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate your time. And guys, if you guys need any help with obviously the IT backups, I think going forward, everything's going to be online, and I don't think so we'll see paper, I don't know, in maybe 5 years. That's my opinions. So thanks, Allan. Thank you so much for your time, man. Really, really appreciate it. Guys, Allan will put your website on here, man. So I really hope that you get some of the people contacting you, because I know some of us have not backed up our data the way it should be. So thank you so much for your time, man. Have a great day.
Awesome. Thanks, Jasmeet.
Thanks, man. Take care, bud.